Hey, welcome to Post Mischa. Let's talk about LSD. To be fair, I wasn't sure if I should make this video just because of the fact that LSD is officially illegal. However, due to how my opinion changed in the last few years about drugs, I just want to share my experience, my opinion about LSD this time. Before we start off, I just want to give you my opinion on drugs and also put a little disclaimer in here. This is my experience with LSD. I would not advise or recommend you to take it. I just want to talk about how I experienced the drug. I'm not gonna say how many times I did it or give you too many insights about that. Yeah, LSD saved my life. Maybe that's too exaggerated, but I will explain to you why I say this. But let's first talk about drugs itself and what my opinion is on that. Due to the fact that alcohol is such an accepted substance, the conversation of drugs being illegal, yes or no, it doesn't go anywhere. As long as alcohol is still something that's legal. If you would replace drunk with being high, there would be no difference, and the danger of alcohol is there. I am an old bartender. I stopped drinking myself for almost 8 months now. This is also influenced by the LSD itself. But if you're now in a position where you think like, oh my god, alcohol is legal and I support that, but on the other hand you think drugs are illegal and it should be like that, go think for yourself. As I said, replace drunk with being high. It has an effect on you. We all know that alcohol is dangerous and it has very bad side effects. So for me, there is no conversation anymore as long alcohol is legal and drugs are not. Some drugs are more dangerous than others, but the same goes for alcohol, so I don't give a shit about it anymore. But let's now talk about the good stuff, or the good stuff, my experience. First, what I would like to say, because I've talked with some friends about LSD before, don't be afraid for the unknown. If you think about LSD, it's mostly about like visuals, really tripping, but LSD is not only that. LSD is more than that. It depends heavily on the dosage that you take and how much you take. The experience is due to that also totally different. LSD is of course psychedelics. It could make you see stuff, it could make you feel stuff, it could make you hear stuff. Depending on the LSD, but also how much you take, this could be totally different. However, what I would really like to get into now is how LSD has helped me. So let's first start off. I have an anxiety disorder and I got diagnosed with a heavy depression. I think it's 1.5 years ago now. Now let's say a year ago. Don't worry, I had therapy for this and I'm doing way better now. But LSD has helped me so much. This was of course after therapy that I did LSD. So I didn't get those two combined. Due to the fact of how LSD works on the character but also the ego, it has helped me a lot. If you are experienced with LSD, there is sort of the split of the character from your ego. And it might sound a bit weird, but I had some experience in my life that really made me struggle things that I could not necessarily accept or I did not want to accept. But LSD made my ego less important. I got less selfish. I started to think in a more rational way. So my ego was less important, but that allowed me and my character to grow. So by accepting basically the bad stories that I had in my life, I got more freedom, I started to be more happy, and that helped me a lot. Not having my ego in the way anymore, where I would think that I would either deserve something different or that I did not deserve to have bad things happening to me at all. Due to this character ego split, I was able to accept certain things. I was also able to see the importance of how it's currently going in my life. So that helped me a lot. This also made me believe that in terms of LSD, I wonder how the medical use of this could be. If you, for example, look at Explained, there we go again. I mentioned this series before. LSD has a great influence on changing people's lives. Think about, for example, people stopping with smoking. The results of people taking LSD and trying to quit smoking are quite astonishing. This really works, and it's sad that due to the fact that LSD is illegal, scientists are not allowed to do tests with this. So from a medical perspective, I really wonder what certain drugs could offer us, help people in a way. Then I would like to talk about how much you would take of LSD. Let's say, for example, you have an LSD plate. This might sound a bit weird for some people, but you get LSD on like a little paper normally, or at least that's how I get it sometimes. If you, for example, take the whole paper, that's gonna be strong, depending on your experience, of course. But this would mean that you're really gonna trip, or at least that's my experience. You would see certain things, for example, patterns, they really show up. They also seem to move. So it's not like, or at least I didn't have the experience that I would randomly see elephants, spaceships and all kinds of things going on. But if you, for example, off that plate take just a quarter, then you get a different experience for it. If you or if anyone has taken MDMA or ecstasy before, the experience is that sound is more intense, colors are more intense, and that you have a lot of energy. That's basically the same with LSD if you just take a quarter. Of course, it's a bit of a different experience because it also plays a bit more into your feelings and the experiences that you have. However, taking just a quarter of LSD could already be a great experience to have. That's basically about the dosage. Then party-wise, because living in Berlin here, the club scene is known for its drugs. If you haven't been to Berlin, well, this is what some people do at least. Party-wise, a lot of people in the Netherlands, for example, in the Netherlands, ecstasy is really big. But ecstasy is also really heavy. I wouldn't advise, for example, to take ecstasy every weekend. Mind me, I would not advise to take ecstasy at all. Ecstasy will give you a very bad feeling the days afterwards. The very known dip. If you take LSD, this doesn't happen. The day after you feel really satisfied, or at least that's my experience. I feel satisfied with myself. I don't feel bad in a way. If I, for example, went partying, of course I will feel tired, but that's the only side effects that I have experienced. So for the people that are going to festivals, take 2 pills of ecstasy and just do that every weekend. This is a different experience. I just wanted to say, like, LSD brought me so much. It helps me get over it helps me to get over past stories that really influenced me, things that I struggled with for a longer while, things that I could just not accept. But LSD has showed different character traits of mine, things to be proud of. It helped me further. At one point I could continue talking about the troubles that I had in my past. However, at one point this didn't help anymore, and due to the LSD I moved on from those things. It also showed me new character traits, for example, that I sort of knew that I had for myself, but due to letting go of old things, I was able to experience myself again, to be that cheerful guy that I can be, to be social again. It helped me move on from my depressive status, basically. If you are gonna try this, let me at least give you some tips. First of all, if you're gonna try it, start with a small dosage. Even a micro dose could already be enough for you to have your first experience with LSD. LSD becomes more interesting the more experience you have with it. The less you take, the less overwhelming it is. Please do yourself a favor, don't take a whole plate at any party. You're gonna trip too much, it's gonna be overwhelming, you're not gonna enjoy yourself. This is really a drug that asks for some experience from you. And lastly, I would say, if you're gonna try it, get your LSD tested. This is just something that I would say with any kinds of drugs, of course, but get your drugs tested if you do it. So lastly, I just want to say it has changed my perspective on life. It has changed a bit of how my ego works. I would say, for me at least, that is a good thing. It made me less selfish in a way. It made me more think about the stuff in how I handle my own things in life, and it brought me a lot. Well, this is basically my overview of LSD. If you have any questions or experiences or thoughts, please let me know. I'm happy to answer this. Again, this is my experience. Don't all of a sudden think now, oh wait, well, Mischa talks so awesome about this drug, let's try it. I don't want to advise anyone to take drugs from that perspective, but I wanted to be as open as I could be to show you what it did for me. If you're gonna try it, be responsible with it. Start off small, see what it does for you. If you don't feel comfortable with it, then maybe it's not something for you. That could be. Oh yeah, and one last tip that I would say, if you're gonna try LSD, go with the flow. It's really something, you get into a different state. If you feel uncomfortable with something, try to see what helps you to make you feel more comfortable. Don't stay in that same situation. Change the environment a little. I would also definitely advise to, if you do it the first few times that you do it outside, because it's a very nice experience. I will give you one little example that I have from this experience still. Here in Berlin you have Mauer Park, which is a big park, and there was a lot of lavendel in Mauer Park, and I looked at the lavendel at first, and a few seconds later, whole Mauer Park was full of lavendel. Those are visuals that you, for example, can have. I hope I was able to give you a little insight about LSD. Once more, if you have any questions, thoughts, experiences, or anything, please let me know in the comments and I'll get back to you. Once more, I do not advise anyone to take this, and be responsible, of course, with it if you do so. But this drug has brought me a lot, which I'm really happy with, and that's why I wanted to share it with you guys. Well, let's keep this going. I will see you in the next video. Like the video if you liked it, leave a comment, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.